to another episode of Who Would Win, a show that completely ignores anything important happening in the world and instead focuses on a fictional battle between characters from the worlds of comics, sci-fi, and fantasy. I'm your host, James Gavsie, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only, the legend himself, Eric Holmes. In today's episode, a hyper-violent, smug cat god thing whose job is to erase worlds collides with Marvel's planet-devouring cosmic constant, the guy who treats civilizations like appetizers. In one corner, you have Beerus, the Dragon Ball god of destruction who can end you with a flick, erase matter with Hakai, and turn galaxy-scale destruction into a casual mood swing. And in the other corner, you have Galactus, the devourer of worlds, a walking apocalypse powered by the power cosmic, who steamrolled entire eras of heroes and keeps an ultimate nullifier size don't make me press this type of button in his back pocket. As usual, I did the patented Who Would Win Google test just to see how many times this matchup has been discussed. And this battle, it's kind of obvious. It's been hotly debated ever since Beerus made his first appearance in Dragon Ball Super way back in 2015. Eric, I have to know, what are your thoughts on today's matchup?
I mean, it is hard for me to go against a guy who's literally walking around saying beer us, beer us, beer us, as our engineer also referenced that he's had a few Beerus drinks. So it's going to be hard to go against this guy, but I will win and I will be very dominant in my presentation of facts. So
I like the confidence.
You can beer me when I win, you see.
That's, if I had $1 for every time Beerus actually had a beer, I'd have $0, which makes me insanely confident that that's your frame of reference for Beerus.
Yes.
I'm liking where this is going. But
Easy
it doesn't
win.
matter.
Easy win.
It doesn't matter, really? Okay, because it doesn't matter what you and I are thinking, because it's always up to the judge.
Yes.
And making another appearance on the Who Would Win show is the official judge of this freaking podcast.
Always happy to have him
right,
on.
he's the only adult in the room.
The judge.
Again, I hope to be soon. He's like kind of already the official or unofficial mayor of Beverly Hills. Yes. Hopefully he's soon to be the actual mayor of Beverly Hills. It's the one, it's the only, it's Tadeo. Tadeo, welcome back to Who Would Win.
Yo. I'm just so excited to be back. I'm feeling this year, 2026, this is going to be nothing but greatness and empowerment to everybody. I'm just feeling like this is going to be the year right here. I'm feeling excited. The weather's nice. I'm having a lot of fun, and that's really what's most important.
The weather's nice. You're having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's what's most important. By the way, where does Who Would Win fit into your grand schemes here?
Who Would Win is a priority in one of my grand schemes. It's like you got the dating life, the gym life, coaching life, and Who Would Win. Because this podcast right here is going to be one of the biggest in the whole USA or globally pretty soon.
I think so.
I think we should be at Comic-Con right now.
Right now.
Wait, we should make Comic-Con happen right now instead of like in July. And we should be. I like I just like how you're like, hey, we're going to displace time and space. Make it happen right now. And just, I agree 100%. Listen, every time I go to Comic-Con, I already have unofficial Who Would Win battles. I'm undefeated because when someone actually starts winning, I just walk away and claim victory. My whole point is, it's an awesome thing. We should be there. But the question is, Tadeo, how would Eric Holmes fare at San Diego Comic-Con? Because listen, he's been there before, of course, but my main concern, my main thing with Eric, I'm going to talk about you like you're not here, by the way. Look, you fit in with the geek crowd, right? Yes. I clearly fit in with the geek crowd. Eric, does Eric fit in with the geek crowd? Listen, and I think pointing and staring and laughing at someone doing their best with a cosplay that maybe didn't hit the mark, it doesn't work well at Comic-Con. That maybe just be a me thing.
But I think he'll win him over with personality. I really do.
Thanks, guys.
I think they're going to sign up for some autographs. They're going to be a photo booth charging $5 a session. I'm getting 4 of it. We're splitting it. Sorry, 3 ways. Jeremy, 4 ways with our engineer. So I think he'll have a long line at the photo booth.
I didn't know Jeremy was coming. This changes everything. Listen, I think the cool part is that, and as I told the Who Would Win crowd before, every once in a while I do get recognized if I wear a Who Would Win shirt, and they're like, "Oh, you like it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm James." I'm like, "Wait, what? You wear so?" And again, it doesn't happen all the time. Once in a while at Comic-Con, but it's awesome, and I think it should happen a lot more. Yes. And again, you get that every day you walk down Beverly Hills.
Well, I appreciate the fame. I do. I'm not going to deny it. We can't. Humbly, I accept all the love.
I know. And one of Eric's biggest fans, my mom, which I'm not happy about, is like, "Oh, I heard your show was great and everything. Tell Eric I said hi." And I'm like, I'm not going to do that at all. Man. Things got really weird in the Gavsie household real quick. But that's neither here nor there. We have a battle to go over. Yes. So let's just get to what we got to do. But before we get to the battle, let's go over the basics of a Who Would Win match. Now, each debater will will make 3 points. Keep in mind that the Who Would Win match is a random encounter in a neutral location with no prior knowledge or prep time allowed, and the debater has to stay within the confines of the character. And when it comes to determining the winner, it's the judge who has the final say and will determine which character lost based on death, incapacitation, or battlefield removal with no outside interference being allowed. Remember, the bottom line in a Who Would Win match is that for one side to get the win, their opponent must be somehow incapacitated for a minimum of 2 minutes where they pose no threat whatsoever. By the way, speaking of Comic-Con, you know, what's really cool is that all three of us we all have our own distinct look, right? I've seen a lot of other people do like cool geek culture podcasts and everything, and it looks like three similar types of people.
Right.
You couldn't have a group of people who looked more dissimilar between the three of us. By the way, I'm not saying we're all bad looking or good. We're great looking, by the way, but we are all very distinct in how we look and approach people and everything. This could be a good thing. I'm just going to put it out there. Should we be fighting other podcasts? Hear me out. If we win, we own their podcast.
Let me tell you this: we will go undefeated. We're gonna be like Mike Tyson in his prime. We're knocking them all out.
Oh yeah.
We're taking their whole audience. Their audience is coming over here because they don't want to see this.
Families, taking our whole family.
Wow, Eric went there. He went there. I'm just talking podcast.
Okay.
I'm just talking, but I like how you think, Eric. Not gonna
they
lie.
bring their family. They're going to be a part of it.
That's a lot of. By the way, that's a lot of responsibility. Right? All of a sudden, you got to look after like 5 more kids and everything. Just send them to Uncle Eric is all I'm saying. All right, listen. It's that time. Let's get to the tail of the tape for both of our commands. Eric, please give us the details for Galactus.
Yes, so you've heard the title, Devourer of Worlds. It's not a metaphor, okay? It's his business model. Galactus is a cosmic constant, older than empires, bigger than gods, powered by the power cosmic, and capable of turning planets into fuel the way a human turns oxygen into breath. We're all breathing, right? Thank goodness, hopefully. I think we are. He doesn't conquer for ego. He consumes because that's how the universe works when he's part of the equation. He's faced down entire super teams, swatted away cosmic champions, and carries one of the most terrifying checks and balances in Marvel history, the ultimate nullifier. The kind of device that ends arguments by ending everything. When Galactus enters a battle, it's not a fight, it's an extinction event with a name.
Very cool. It's interesting that you went to the ultimate nullifier right away. Like that's okay. Again, I like how you're thinking. Your strategy is really kind of evolving. It's cool. All right, well done, Eric. Now here are the facts for Beerus, known as Universe 7's God of Destruction. Beerus isn't a hero, a villain, or a conquering king. He's a cosmic enforcement mechanism with the temperament of a bored house cat and the authority of a natural disaster. He's spent eons deciding which worlds deserve to keep existing and which ones get erased as a lesson. Armed with destruction energy and one of my favorite attacks in all of Dragon Ball Super, the Hakai, Beerus fights like someone who's never had to prove anything to anyone. Minimal movement, maximum consequence, that's who Beerus is. And if Galactus thinks he's the biggest, he has the biggest appetite in the universe, well, Beerus is the guy who deletes the menu. Yeah, I said it. How dramatic is that? And now you have the facts on both opponents today. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Wow. This is, so we've got 2 planet devourers in different universes. I want to know, Beerus, like, how does he attack things? Galactus is the size of Earth, right? He might be bigger.
He wants, sure. At least he's King Kong to Godzilla size.
Yes.
Right. But yeah, he can be as big as he wants.
So what about Beerus? Like, how much is he lifting? What's his size? I mean, I know he's a cat, but is he? Well,
Beerus is like a humanoid cat, right? We've seen the pictures. And I'll get into this, but he's probably taller than Goku. So I'd say he's probably, if Galactus is the size of Godzilla at minimum, Beerus is the size of a 6 foot tall person.
Okay, that's in my notes. All right, just in the notes.
But don't let that fool you. We know other people who aren't that tall but are insanely powerful today.
Yes.
Just putting that out there. All right, Eric, go ahead and here's your point number 1.
Yeah, so first I want to get into more of Galactus's powers, okay? Remember, he isn't just strong, all right? He's literally a scale, okay? Literally a walking cosmic natural disaster that wears armor and literally treats planets, Tadeo can relate to this, and all of us, he treats planets like protein shakes. And we've had a lot of protein shakes, okay? I think I'm looking at one right now. Exactly. So remember, when he's fed, he's not entering a fight. He's arriving like a weather system with opinions, all right? So he's able to weaponize energy, like it's literally his native language, okay? So literally, he bullies energy, all right, and matter, okay, into doing what he wants. So it's less big laser and more, I rewrite the rules of the room, okay? Marvel even consistently frames him as a cosmic entity who devours worlds for energy and can channel that same cosmic power either offensively or defensively. Remember, on the Fantastic Four, they hit him with their best stuff, okay? And it basically lands like a group text, all right? In the original Galactus trilogy, the story makes the point brutally clear. The Four aren't losing a fight. They're trying to stop a planetary foreclosure, all right? That's Galactus. Galactus can generate force fields as part of his standard cosmic toolset, meaning most attacks are just heroes donating effort to the void. You're not breaking through a barrier, you're arguing with a cosmic firewall. Also, he doesn't just wreck worlds, okay? He breaks empires by picking the wrong planet for lunch. Also, back to Fantastic Four, back in 1961, episode 257, it's a classic galactic politics just ended moment where Galactus consumes a scroll throne world and suddenly an entire empire is in panic mode because their capital got eaten like a mint. That's some Galactic type stuff, okay? When Avengers show up, it's usually not to beat him, it's to manage the catastrophe. Like FEMA with capes. Marvel's own character history treats Galactus as a kind of threat that pulls multiple heroes of factions into the same crisis because you're not stopping a villain, you're trying to stop a cosmic event from finishing its sentence. Literally, bottom line, you're not fighting a powerful guy, you're fighting a planet-level energy economy wearing a helmet, one who can throw cosmic power around, hide behind force fields, and make Earth's mightiest heroes look like they showed up to Hurricane with umbrellas and asked to speak to the manager. On all that, James, my point number one.
You're saying the Avengers turned into a Karen when trying to take on Galactus.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's fair.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fair. That's horrible, by the way. Okay, here's the thing. Galactus is awesome. He's fantastic. One thing I'll bring up is that if Galactus, okay, this is Marvel, right? And if Galactus, well, I'll just ask you this. If there's something happening, if there's a black hole happening in another galaxy right now, do any of us feel it? Could we tell it's happening right now?
No.
Exactly. So Galactus, as powerful as he is kind of like a localized phenomenon. When he's destroying a world, he's there. We don't actually feel it over here. And this kind of helps you understand the scope of what Beerus can do, which I'm about to explain. So let me get to my point number one.
Interesting, James.
Yes, it's
but you are coming into my era to fight with Galactus, right? You're going to be by Galactus, right?
That's correct. But it's more to kind of demonstrate the power of Beerus and how much people feel it everywhere. But let me try to get to this.
All right.
You know, I'll need to speak to the manager about this. All right, here we go. So my point number one, let's talk about Beerus is just his physicals, his god level power. So Beerus doesn't fight like a martial artist who learned energy blast like most of the people in Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Z. He fights like, I don't know, a cosmic apex predator who also happens to be excellent at violence. He's like a James Gavsie type of character in Dragon Ball Super. Thank you for saying that before the episode started, Eric. That's really nice of you. Let's talk about his speed. So against a character I love, Super Saiyan God Goku. Not Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan God Goku. Beerus is just consistently portrayed as, I don't know, he's comfortably ahead of Goku the whole time. He's dodging, he's countering, he's controlling the pace like he's calmly sparring and making jokes. Beerus kind of simply stated far outclasses Super Saiyan God Goku, even while kind of testing out his powers, because he's just trying to get Goku to kind of level up, and he's still like way ahead of him the whole time. It's crazy. He has every punch is a disaster problem level of strength, right? I was trying to say, is he strong like the Hulk? Is he like taking on Godzilla? No, because every punch literally is a disaster. So when Beerus does trade blows seriously, the collateral isn't that he craters the ground or mountains are destroyed. Where he's fighting Goku in space, Super Saiyan God Goku, by the way, and easily taking him on. When they start punching and their punches are hitting and they're hitting each other, there's these shock waves that are felt not just throughout the universe, but like in other dimensions right there, which means everyone on Earth or any other planet in different galaxies, all of a sudden their planets are shaking. Like, what is happening? Because Beerus is lightly sparring with Goku, even though Goku's fighting as hard as he can. On top of that, in terms of durability, Beerus doesn't just survive hits, he stays in control. So one of the fun parts is he lets people hit him, and he'll give a reaction like, "Oh no, that hurt," and then he just starts smiling. He's like, "Oh wow, that's all you got? Really? That's it?" He can survive literally galaxy destroying events and just smile about it and then ask you like, "Hey, where's the best food around here? I'm super hungry." It's a really cool thing. On top of that, he's got these energy attacks that are described at minimum as planet killing, which is what is called casual output by Beerus. So casually speaking, he's destroying a planet. Now you juxtapose being my new favorite word that I just learned yesterday, against what Galactus does. And Galactus usually has to bring in these machines to convert the planet to energy, or he'll destroy it and just be like, I don't care what happens to the planet, I'll take it out. But it's not a quick or sudden thing. Beerus literally treats planets like, not even like, a set of marbles. And he's just like, yeah, it's done, and just destroys it right away with a whim. This is a different type of power. And this is kind of like the good news and bad news of the Dragon Ball universe as a whole. Power scaling is really hard to track, because all of a sudden you have someone who can destroy a planet, and then they're like, that's how they start. And then they kind of keep going up from there in different orders of magnitude. And Beerus is not the top, but he's very much close to that top level of magnitude in the Dragon Ball universe. All that's my point number one.
All right, no, those are good points. You have now introduced Beerus for us all, okay? But one thing that I'm gathering with Beerus, and I've noticed, is that he's Godspeed, God strong, and planet level destructive, okay? He is planet level destructive.
At least, okay?
Only problem there, James, is that Galactus is cosmic scale. You see, okay? Literally manipulating energy and matter on a planetary or greater level, while casually shrugging off attacks, all right? Also, Beerus punches and all his blasts are very impressive locally. They're locally impressive. But Galactus, his scale, his durability, and energy projection literally outclasses him completely. Literally, he's turning Beerus's best efforts into minor little disturbances against a walking cosmic disaster. That's my rebuttal, James.
Well, that's interesting. That's like saying Tadeo, our amazing judge, he's only the mayor of Beverly Hills. He's not like the mayor of LA. Therefore, he's insignificant. And I got to tell you, Eric, I completely disagree. I think Tadeo is highly significant to the entire city. How dare you say that about our judge? Totally. It's not up to me to say what I think about what's happening here.
Thank you. I just heard my Cash App. Cha-ching.
Well, I'll say that. And him trying to bring you into this as if I'm putting down Beverly Hills and you.
Wait, I'm talking about. Did Eric just say he's putting down Beverly Hills and you?
As if I am.
Me and my 35,000 residents.
Oh my gosh. This is Eric. How dare you, good sir?
Wow.
I know that's, I've been watching some fun news editing, and I'm kind of being very careful.
It's kind of like the 5 o'clock news, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's sound bites.
It's like the Canadian news. Yeah.
There exactly. You go.
Weather's great. From the weather's never been great here, and they just like weather's great. Okay. All right. Today, listen. You've heard one point from both Eric and myself. Where's your head at so far with this battle?
Are you okay?
I'm great. I'm not upset. I'm not upset.
There you go.
In truth, it sounds like we have two menacing forces. I don't think two people should wield this much power. Now it comes down to, in the future, who I feel is just a tad bit stronger, because I see them kind of on the same tier, but I need a tipping point to see who's just a smidgen better at destruction.
Wait, are you talking about Eric and myself, or Beerus and Galactus? I mean, both.
We need to separate y'all. You're getting a little too close there. It's looking a little too violent. But you and your characters.
Like gripping the table? No.
All right, that's fair. I kind of expected this to kind of be an even battle, at least for point number one. But let's see what's going to happen. Stay tuned for point number two. And we're back. Eric, show us what you got. Here's for your point number two.
Yeah, so next I want to get into Galactus's combat experience, okay? So literally he's the universe's most overqualified, if you will, warlord, all right? Galactus doesn't get into fights. He shows up as the final exam of a universe, all right? So he's not just a little brawler looking for a scrap. He's a cosmic constant with a job title. And this job title is the devourer of worlds, all right? So when he enters a conflict, it isn't who hits harder, it's can your entire planet finish a sentence before he's done, all right? So he's fought team ups, the way other villains fight one, guy in the alley, literally you're talking about whole groups of teams. We talk about the, Fantastic Four and all that stuff, but on a battle world, okay, on battle world, all right? It isn't a solo hero trying their best. It's a stacked roster of Marvel heavy hitters converging on him, all right? In Secret Wars 1984, episode number 9, it lists basically everyone you would want on a Stop Galactus group text, all right? And the key thing with Galactus is still operating like the adult in a room, projecting power, throwing up defenses, and literally treating their plan as background noise while he continues his objective. He has real cosmic battlefield reps against entities that make the Avengers look like neighborhood watch, and we've all seen our local neighborhood watches. It's you get it. All right. So anyways, Hickman's run gives you the cleanest example with Galactus versus the Celestials. That's not hype. That's the literal cover level premise. Oh, fantastic. For the point for a debate is simple. Galactus has experienced trading blows, pressure testing cosmic tier opponents, not just punching down on Earth, all right? He wins wars without needing to win the fight because his scale breaks the meaning of victory. And here's the part people forget. Galactus fights like a strategist, not a berserker, okay? He uses heralds as forward scouts, threats, and tactical instruments, meaning he doesn't just walk into battles blindly. He engineers the board before he even arrives. So the debate takeaway is brutal and simple, right? If your plan requires the team jumps him, Galactus has already lived through that episode, all right? So multiple times he's lived through this episode, and the lesson keeps being the same. Teams don't beat Galactus by overpowering him. They survive Galactus by trying to outsmart the rules of the situation. And James, all that is my point number 2.
All right, so these are interesting points, and you brought up something that I've been wondering about. So, Galactus has the heralds. You mentioned them, like Silver Surfer. My other favorite one, Fire Lord. There's Terrax, amongst many others. Are you including them in this battle with Beerus?
Man, you asked some good questions, James. You asked a question that actually I needed you to ask, and to answer your question, he doesn't need none of them.
What?
That's
so you're just saying Peter Galactus against Beerus, even though he can summon all these, he can create heralds, and you're
correct.
Like, no.
No, this is D1, D only, Galactus himself.
Wow. Okay.
Taking care of business.
Okay, interesting. Because the one thing I will say is that there's no way Galactus could turn Beerus into one of his heralds, right? Galactus has that kind of fun way of seeing someone in Marvel.
He's a nice guy.
You know what? You're really powerful. You're going to work for me now, whether they want to or not. Right. But I don't think there's no way he can do that to Beerus because he's at the very least, they're an equivalent cosmic scale. Would you agree with that, Eric?
I would, unless he might have some sardines on him, because he has a purple cat, I think I can see Beerus going for some sardines, so some cosmic sized sardines. I can see him coming
like
on.
A litter box might be
sardines. And they're really popular right now too. So they're like everywhere. So yeah, I can see him going for that.
That's awesome. The Who Would Win fans, don't check out Eric's browsing history. It's going to get weird. Okay. It's okay. So let me get to my point number 2. This is kind of cool. I'm also going to kind of talk about fighting skill because you can't talk about any character in Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super or Diamond or what have you without talking about their fighting skill. So he's called the God of Destruction for a reason because he's also a God tier martial artist and fighter. He's scary not because he's powerful. He's scary because he's that insanely skilled. The kind of fighter who looks bored while he's dismantling you, like he's done this exact beatdown 1,000 times and is annoyed you're making him do it again. I've seen this look before with like these insane MMA fighters, martial artists that are super high level, jiu-jitsu, whatever, and you can tell they're like, why am I even doing this? And with no energy, they're just flicking people away, submitting them, or doing whatever they were doing to Eric when he came in for that one class. It was absolutely crazy. So here's the deal. I'm just saying what the people want to hear.
That's pretty good.
Thanks. Beerus fights like a technician, not a showboat, right? So in the Super Saiyan God Goku fight, I'm just going to keep going there. Beerus doesn't spam big blasts. He tests Goku. He adapts and keeps control of the tempo the entire time. Goku's throwing his heart. He's doing that Super Saiyan grit. He even transforms into new forms of even more powerful beings than Super Saiyan God Goku, if you can believe it. And Beerus is basically running a combat clinic and audit on Goku the whole time, and Goku is none the wiser. Goku being like the most battle-ready fighter and battle-capable fighter in the Dragon Ball universe. Evidently, he's not even close to what Beerus was at that moment. Beerus's minimum effort combat style is kind of like the point. He wins exchanges with tiny movements. Finger taps to the back of the head, palm blocks that send you flying through a planet, casual dodges because he has perfect spacing and timing. He doesn't need to commit. That's the nightmare. You can't bait him into overextending because he's seemingly never overextended a day in his life. That's the whole thing. He's got centuries, probably thousands of years of reps against top tier beings, not just one, version of Dragon Ball's cast. He's treated as someone who's been balancing the cosmos for ages. He's not learning on the job like Goku or what have you. He's the reason the job exists. The way other gods and high tier fighters react to him is the tell, right? That's the poker tell. They are scared of him. They fear him. They respect him. They comply with him. By the way, the people who do all this are ones who can destroy planets easily as as well. So if you have someone who's scared of this guy who can already destroy, like if I can destroy planets and I'm absolutely terrified of this guy who comes down at me, that is a whole new level of power. This is someone who knows how to deal with every fighting style, how to deal with energy attacks like they're nothing. He's insanely disciplined as a fighter. And this is a guy, remember, he's a disciplined, insane, top tier fighter in a universe of fighters. In a universe of cosmic level threats, he's like one of the, if not the top dog, at least in some way, shape, or form. Most Dragon Ball fights are who can overpower who when they're fighting, right? It's like, I gotta tap into some new power and kind of blah, blah, blah. And Beerus is like, yeah, go for it. Yeah, let's just say, yeah, keep going. I'll just be over here eating some sardines that Eric gave me and what have you. And then he just lets the person go. And then he just kind of, takes him out casually and says, wow, that was a little bit more than I expected. Good for you. He pats him on the head, whatever. It's kind of horrible, but that's what he does. Here's the thing. Beerus is kind of like a nuclear bomb, but he's like a trained sniper in the form of a nuclear bomb, right? Anytime he wants, he can destroy someone horribly. And he likes to play with people because he knows he can. And by the way, it's not just fighters, it's cosmic entities like a Galactus. He's done with that. All of that is my point number 2.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it to Beerus. All right, literally, he is a god tier martial arts genius. All right, fast, precise, ruthless. All right, no doubt about that. All right, so Beerus got some skills, but Galactus isn't limited by physical combat or speed. Okay, literally, in him using the power, the cosmic power, Galactus can manipulate energy, matter, and entire planetary environments, neutralizing Beerus' attacks before they even land. His battlefield control and cosmic skill make martial skill largely irrelevant. Beerus can fight perfectly, but he can't compete with a walking planetary level disaster. That's what I'm saying.
It's interesting because what you're saying here is true. And one of the problems with fighting with Galactus is, okay, is this Galactus is the right term, corporeal, whatever it is, like a solid being, right? Or is it like, hey, I'm going to turn myself into energy? Or am I going to be in some other form? Like, this is someone who controls and made up of what you call cosmic energy or cosmic power, right? So what form is Beerus fighting? And the answer is all of the above. Right. Okay. And that's really tricky. Unless you're James Gavsie and have an absolutely perfect answer for how you fight that, which I do, by the way. But none of that matters because we're at the turning point. Judge Tadeo, you've heard 2 points from both Eric and myself. Where's your head at so far with this battle, and what does the other side have to do to get the victory?
Well, Galactus is literally forming and morphs himself into whatever needs to be done to win a battle. I am quite impressed by this nuke bomb, though, however, that Beerus can unleash at any time. So you've got a nuclear bomb truly is just energy condensed versus Galactus, who is literally energy. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of like they're kin of sorts.
So,
universe destroyers and just full of energy and the ability to create energy. So I don't know. Maybe that nuke goes off or it's a dud. We'll see. I need a little more information to see.
No, it's true. It's like Eric and I couldn't be more different, but yet when we both walk into McDonald's or any buffet, they both treat us like threats.
Yeah,
right? They're like, no. We did not stock enough food today for the 2 of you to come in. Even though we couldn't be more different, but they treat us in very similar ways. That's kind of what I'm reading between the lines today.
Okay.
That's what I do. See, instead of insulting you, I actually come up with like fun. Anyway.
He's a kind guy. Speaking of fast food, I will say this. I actually just went back to Burger King after about a decade.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
How is it?
For a Whopper. And I've been craving it.
Uh-oh.
And when I went back, I was educated by a friend of mine from Detroit, Michigan, all-American, local classy guy. He goes, hey, if you go into Burger King, you say, on the char, heavy all. This lingo that you use in Burger King. I said it. And they're like, you sure you want a heavy all? I'm like, wait, you guys know what this means? So they gave me an extra char on my burger. And it means extra lettuce, tomatoes, onions, mayo. And I got to say, I can go for a Whopper right now.
Wow. Okay.
I was so happy. Went a little tangent there, but
if he wins, he goes for a Whopper. If he wins, right?
If he wins.
Yeah, if I win. It's up to Tadeo. Tadeo, it's up to you. We're going to present more points here. It was pretty. When's the last time you guys had a Whopper?
Yeah, I try to avoid.
10 years ago.
All right.
2016.
About the same.
I remember.
We didn't really have Burger King in Canada. We had the French equivalent, Le Roi de Belgique. And I got to tell you, it didn't really stack up the way you thought it would. It's not the king you want ruling over your homeland. All right. This episode of Who Would Win is brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, not Burger King.
Not Burger King.
All right. Listen, this is great, but we got to get to decisions.
We have to.
Let's see what's going to happen for our point number 3. And we're back. All right, Eric, it's now or never. Hit us with your point number 3.
All right, now is the time, James. I will get into the ultimate nullifier, okay?
Here we go.
I don't win the fight, I delete the fight versus Beerus. Okay, Galactus, bring it home, has a literal cosmic off switch. Back to it, like I said, the ultimate nullifier. It's a small handheld device. I've been saving this. It's kept aboard his world ship. Yes, he has a world ship. And Marvel treats it as one of the few things in existence that can make even Galactus level problems end instantly. All right. So he can erase a target from existence. Marvel sources describe it as capable of, I don't know, wiping out anything the user can fully conceptualize, up to universe level. If you can hold that in your mind, if you can even process that, right? How it's depicted in use, okay? Its effect has been shown as either a directed beam or a spreading sphere of nullification. And the dial, if you will, can be catastrophic. Like we're talking about like solar system and a whole solar system taken out in a microsecond. While Galactus is the perfect person to wield this, most beings don't have the focus or mental horsepower to use it safely, all right? A lot of misuse, can annihilate, the person that's operating. But Galactus, as a cosmic entity who routinely can operate it at planetary and beyond scale, is one of the rare characters who can plausibly drive this thing without frying his own brain mid-trigger pull. All right, so it's cosmic proof. It's not just rumor. Reed Richards uses it as leverage to force Galactus to back off in Fantastic Four back in the 60s. The threat alone works because the device is that final, all right? So how will Galactus use this against Beerus under our rules, okay? The Who Will Win show, all right? So no prep, nothing. So this is how I feel he will do it, okay? So he's not going to duel with Beerus. Beerus all. Please, Beerus. Anyways, he's going to just buy one clean moment, okay? Behind force fields, and literally with his power of cosmic control, he's going to activate the nullifier to remove Beerus from the board entirely. All right. So Beerus won't have advanced knowledge or anything. So he's not reacting to a weapon. He's reacting to reality, suddenly deciding he's not invited anymore. Okay. And lastly, this is where I'm gonna close it and bring it home. All right, for our judge here. Beerus is terrifying because he can end you fast. All right, but the nullifier is worse, okay? It's the kind of power that doesn't just stop you, it makes the universe behave as if you were never a problem in the first place, AKA Beerus. And all that is my point number 3, James.
Okay, so a couple of things. So I love that you brought that up because that is really the big gun, literally, that Galactus has. But 2 things. Number 1, Galactus is afraid of the ultimate nullifier because even if his focus lapses for a second, which means if Beerus hits him with something crazy, it could lapse. He's the one who could also be falling victim to the ultimate nullifier and take himself out.
Hypothetical.
So, hypothetical. It takes a lot to use it properly, and he's also really scared of it, right? Number 2, it's a foreign weapon to Galactus. Now, what do I mean by that? So, with firearms training and all that kind of stuff, you've got to draw your weapon, right? And this is something that Galactus has to draw or summon. It's not a part of his power set, right? He has to summon it, activate it, use it. It's not an instant thing. It's like, hey, I gotta boom. It doesn't take forever, but it's not like, hey, I think about it, it's done. You gotta get it, you gotta prep it, you gotta turn it on, you gotta focus. It's a process to doing it. Why is that important? Because Beerus has something very similar, but it's not something he has to summon. It's part of his power set that he can use automatically and instinctively the right way, and he doesn't need a ton of focus to do it. So for my point number 3, I'm talking about Beerus's power of Hakai, or otherwise known as the cleanest, air quotes, you're done in the universe, okay? So Hakai isn't what you would call just a strong attack. It's a destruction technique, right? He's the god of destruction. So he points at something, and reality starts acting like that thing he points at never signed the consent form to keep that thing around. It goes away. It's framed as wiping out the target completely. You're not injuring it. You're not KOing it. You're not blasting it through its durability, whatever. Destroying. No. You're removing it from existence. So there's this character named Zamasu, who was this god tier deity who was at odds with, a whole bunch of other people, whatever. Beerus sees him and is like, you know what? I'm not liking what you're doing. Kind of Beerus is super smart, caught him in this weird trap, a mental kind of trap. He's like, okay, got it. Time for you to go. Points his hand at him and says, Hakai, and this guy just disappears. Right, and is removed, a god tier being. One of my favorite things was, because I'm like, okay, does that work against energy? Does that work just against a solid person? Well, he proved it works against energy. So he did this to a ghost. Right, there was a ghost, and I guess the ghost was just taking him off. And it was the ghost of Dr. Machirito, a character from earlier, whatever, in Dragon Ball Super. And he's just getting on Beerus's nerves. And Beerus is like, I know you're a ghost. And I guess a ghost is sometimes like, what are you gonna do? Punch me? What are you gonna do? And so he Hakai'd the ghost and remove the ghost. I'm not saying that's a cool power.
It's just a little ghost, though.
It's just
like,
a little ghost. I just
ooh.
think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if a ghost is coming after you like that one time it did when you and I had that sleepover, and we could have just Hakai'd that ghost out of existence?
Up there in Malibu in the tent.
Yeah,
by
exactly.
the beach.
Who knew that Burger King would actually ward off a ghost? Just putting that out there. It's not just good for eating, by the way. So, okay, here's how Beerus is going to use this against Galactus.
What you got, buddy boy?
So they're both going to be in a prolonged battle. They're both figuring each other out. By the way, they both understand the universe at levels that are way beyond anyone else. So they're actually going to understand each other very, very quickly, right? Galactus is going to be like, okay, this is an insanely powered being. I've got to use the ultimate nullifier. He calls on it. He's saying, okay, great, got to turn it on. As that happens, he gets Hakai'd by Beerus. Now you might say, well, Galactus isn't a ghost, and he's
not a little ghost.
He's not a ghost. He's something quite more powerful, and you'd be right.
Much more.
By the time Galactus, the way he uses it in the story, and he has to call on it, activate it, aim it, focus it, whatever. Well, Beerus has already done, I don't know, 10 to 15 Hakais on Galactus at the same, with each one being the power level to remove a god tier being from Dragon Ball, which is an insane power level. So the thing is, it's not about who has the biggest gun. I think the ultimate nullifier might even be more powerful than the Hakai. I'll give you that. But it takes a while to operate, and it's hard. And once you use it once, I don't know if you can use it again. I think it might just be a one-shot thing. But Beerus could be evading you and using that Hakai over and over and over again, just saying it really, really fast. And that's something Galactus has not encountered. In a fight between Galactus and the Dark Phoenix, right? Galactus was scared of the Dark Phoenix because of its speed and overall power. Galactus was probably more powerful than the Dark Phoenix, but the Dark Phoenix could hit it way more with like very equivalent power shots, and that could lead to the end of Galactus. This is a similar battle, except you got someone who can fight way better and use that Hakai over and over and over and over again, super fast. In the end, 15 Hakais easily beat one ultimate nullifier, and that's my point number 3.
Okay, with the Hakai of a Beerus, okay?
A ghost, Eric.
Yeah, but why would you even mention ghost? It's not even like threatening. It's like Casper. He took out Casper. Ooh. Oh no. Okay, look. One thing though with the Hakai, what I think you're forgetting, okay? He can use it over and over again. Remember though, it requires engagement and a line of sight. All right. So I think it's going to be a lot of missed Hakais on Galactus, in my opinion, which is not going to be as effective as you made it out to be. All right. But with Galactus and that ultimate nullifier, he can operate it from a safe distance. And like I said, when it's operated correctly, which what she has done, and he can, it's going to rewrite all of reality. Okay. And literally he's going to remove Beerus before he can even act and finally get good engagement and a line of sight with that Hakai. So I think that's going to be his setback and problem with using the Hakai on Galactus. And all that, James, is my rebuttal, okay, to your Hakai and all your other points. All right. So I'm gonna wrap this up and take the W.
this isn't like walking into Burger King and just placing an order, getting
on
a
the
sandwich
char,
and
heavy R.
Right, and like got with a char with a heavy R, taking a bite, and then declaring victory for some reason. That's not how this whole thing works, Eric. But it's not horribly wrong, by the way, if you did do that. Okay, listen, let's go to the judge because today you've heard 3 points from both Eric and myself, and it's time for you to make a decision for this crazy battle. Take us through your process. Tell us your story, if you will. And really, just in your opinion, tell us who wins this battle between Beerus and Galactus.
Well, in this engaging and classic universe-ending battle, we have Beerus versus Galactus. So we have Hakai versus the Nullifier. So going into this war, they know that they could end every living entity on Earth. So they kind of nullify one another, using the pun of the nullifier, and don't use this. However, what happens is Beerus is going to attack Galactus, thinking that its brawn and size is just overrated. And Beerus hits him with the finger tap, kind of like the infomercials we saw with those guys who sold VHSs. and Galactus laughs. And Beerus instinctively panics, because cats have that instinct, and immediately, boom, unleashes a world-ending atomic bomb level destruction. However, Galactus is energy and absorbs it. And from there, expands to nearly 50 feet because matter is nothing, and stomps directly on the head of Beerus, ending not 1, not 2, but 9 lives, and rendering Beerus incapacitated for 2 minutes and in shock that even with his instinct, he could not defeat the planetary consuming defeater of Fantastic Four. And when you really think about it, right, I mean, taking out a ghost, as Eric quickly said, like Casper, ghosts are not that threatening. And the nullifier is the universe's greatest and most feared weapon. And that will nullify and defeat Beerus, rendering Galactus the ultimate destroyer of all universes and the winner.
And there you have it. I don't like the answer, by the way. I think that's horrible. By the way, did I mention that the Hakai can kill a ghost? I don't know if I brought that up earlier.
Casper.
Yes. All right. Listen, I can kind of see the point, because one of the things you brought up, Eric, that's actually really cool. The way the Hakai is used, it's used as an energy blast type of attack. Even though it's not that, they do use a line of sight, so you could dodge it, right? And Galactus can be as fast as he wants. He could be some form of energy that just moves out of the way. And by the way, I don't know if he could absorb the Hakai. Maybe that's a thing. But I do think if you do need that line of sight to be able to do it versus just something you hit and it just destroys an entire area known as, the universe, right? It's something that Galactus has to be really focused on using. And I think he would be in this fight. I kind of see your point of view. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I'm okay with it because it was a really, really great point. Congratulations, Eric. Tell the audience, our fan base, how you feel right now with this win.
Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
I'm adding freaking bacon and cheese to my Whopper, baby.
Is this real life?
I'm freaking adding. I am adding bacon and cheese. I might even double it up. That's how I feel.
I tell you what. You know what the thing is.
It's my Whopper.
It's your Whopper. It's your char with a hard R with an extra patty. And
no,
bacon
heavy
and cheese.
R. So on the char, heavy R.
Got it. This will lead to you turning into a ghost very quickly, and luckily we have a way to deal with that. I'm just saying. I care about you, Eric.
Thank you.
I don't, but I kind of do, and I want you to be okay. Maybe I don't know. Instead of like 2 big ass beef patties and bacon, you should throw in a vegetable or something. I don't know.
It's got lettuce.
It
has
I guess
fruit.
that counts.
Tomato.
All right. We all celebrate our own way. I like caviar and yachts, and Eric likes
freaking
Burger King.
the local Burger King.
I'm not here to judge. I'm just judging that harshly. All right, there you have it, Judge Tadeo. Great job, Judge Tadeo. Are you also going to join Eric in his regal celebration at the King of all burgers?
The local BK off Sepulveda.
It's been since 2016 since I've had Burger King, and hopefully it gets to 2056 without another burger. Without a burger from there.
I was on the same trajectory.
I'm not knocking it, but I'm a little more high class. I don't want to get caught in the drive-thru there.
Hey, quick question: how many Burger Kings are in Beverly Hills?
There are none.
Oh, interesting.
Wait. I'll look into that.
Yeah,
because I'm eating a lot of Whoppers now, boys.
I'm pretty sure that's a factoid. The only time there'd be Burger King in Beverly Hills is when you bring Burger King yourself to Beverly Hills in the form of.
They've been zoned out of Beverly Hills, people.
That's good. All right. Listen, awesome job, everyone. Today, I'll tell Legion of Audience, our fan base, where they can find you.
You can find me online at Cuerpazo. You can find me in Beverly Hills, usually wandering around Rodeo Drive with all the bags and the fancy cars. And a beautiful woman, too.
You know, how do beautiful women like going to Burger King, by the way? Just put that out there.
That might end my streak.
Ladies.
That could be risky. So I'm not going to take that chance.
Okay, that's smart.
Fine.
That's smart.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. You're right. It's a refined palate that someone hit with a hammer or something that loves. Okay,
delicious.
By the way, I do like the taste of Burger King. Last time I had it, which I think was early 2000s. It was crazy. All right,
Okay.
Eric. Congratulations. Great win. Really well debated. Excellent points. Tell Legion of Audience, our fan base, where they can find you.
Yes, at the THE Eric with the C Holmes, HOLMES. Let's connect.
Very cool. You can find me on X, aka Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook by typing in at James Gavsie. You can also find us on Instagram and Threads and TikTok at Who Would Win Show. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube by going to at Who Would Win Show. Yes, that's right. Our podcast is finally on YouTube. Yeah. We decided to catch up. It's the year 2005 all over again for the Who Would Win Show. On behalf of myself, Eric Holmes, Tadeo, and the rest of the amazing Who Would Win production team, thank you once again for checking out another episode of Who Would Win. We'll see you next time.